So, War Tycoon has many annoying vehicles, and you might not know how to counter all of them. So today, I'll go over War Tycoon's annoying vehicles and what their counters are. The first vehicle, well, it's kind of like a vehicle class, and that's going to be submarines. Originally, I had the Typhoon, but then something like the LA class or the Bore 2 are equally as annoying, so I'm just gonna put submarines as the first annoying category. Submarines are really annoying because they have missiles that can reach you from halfway across the map, and sometimes there's not much you can even do about it. And this could be really annoying, especially when you're in the middle of a fight. Like, let's say you're in a really good dogfight with someone, and then all of a sudden, you just get nuked out of the air with a submarine from the other side of the map. That could be really annoying, so the counter is gonna be a ship, and that ship is gonna be the PGO-2. Wait, since when did the torpedoes do so much damage? That just did 1.6k. The reason why the PGO-2 is such a good counter to most submarines, well no, all submarines, is because this gun does tons of damage to it, plus you have a depth charge, and you can see them underwater with sonar. So combine all of this, and all submarines are getting shredded by the PGO-2. Just max this boat out, and then submarines will never be a problem for you again. The depth charge does tons of damage to submarines, and then look how fast it reloads. That's like a 5-second reload. So you can just keep doing damage and damage, but then while you wait for those, you just use this and every submarine is gone. After submarines, I'm gonna have the Independence X and the Zumwalt as the next annoying vehicles. I was originally only gonna put the Independence X, but the Zumwalt's also pretty annoying, so now let's see what their counters are. This can be really annoying because its railgun does huge amounts of damage, it can one-shot planes, helicopters, does a ton of damage to tanks, and it also has these artillery rockets, so you also have tons of range. Then, combine this with a ton of missiles and sonar, this just makes a really overpowered boat. But for the counter, the Hind is a really good one. The Hind has the highest amount of DPS in this game, so it'll easily shred the Independence X, just be careful for its railgun. The same thing can be said for the Zumwalt, just use the Hind, but be careful for its weapons. Also, don't forget to use flares when countering these kinds of boats, cause the users will spam their rockets. Another counter to the Zumwalt / Independence X is the Cranoplan, and this might surprise some people, but it has a really good, what is this, like minigun, autocannon, I don't know, but it has a really good weapon along with these wire-guided missiles that do huge amounts of damage. The Cranoplan might not be good, but for this purpose, it's really good. The Cranoplan is also really fast, so you'll be able to reach the Zumwalt or Independence X really fast. I'm pretty sure this goes faster than some helicopters. Next on my annoying list I have the Little Bird. Many people don't like this because it's small, yet it's still really powerful. That makes it really hard for like tanks to hit it or anything that doesn't have missiles, so that's why the counter is planes with missiles or helicopters. Any plane that has like 6 missiles or helicopter can easily destroy this because it has one flare, and most of the time a Little Bird user is a beginner, so they don't know how to use the flare strategy to stay in the flares, so you're most likely just going to end up spamming missiles and destroying the Little Bird. The thing is, if you're using a plane, be careful because this is a really powerful helicopter, so it could shred your plane as you're flying away, so you better hit those missiles. The next vehicle I have on this list is a tank that was really popular like about a year ago, but then it fell off and now it's back and it's annoying now. It's very powerful, it's fast, it has good health, so it's just a really good all-around tank, and that's the BMPT Terminator. The BMPT has 4 wire-guided missiles, then it also has this explosive gun and this normal machine gun. This tank can be very annoying because you can just sneak attack people with this. This goes 71 miles an hour and it's really powerful. Like, it could throw everything it has at you very fast. Like, all it has to do is spam its missiles while using the gun and you might be already dead. With that being said, to counter this, you need another vehicle that outputs a lot of damage. And I know you might be thinking the Hind is a good counter, but it's a huge target and the BMPT has 4 missiles, so it has 4 chances to try and shoot you down. That's why I think if you want to counter the BMPT, you should either use the Leopard 2 ARC or the E100. Now, the E100's not for everyone. I did make a video on this tank, how it was really good if you have the skill, and that especially applies when countering something like the BMPT. This tank is really slow, but the thing is, if you're fast enough, you could just hit both cannons onto this, and then you're just gonna destroy the BMPT. This tank doesn't one-shot the BMPT, but both cannons together are just gonna destroy the BMPT very, very quickly, before it has time to spam the 4 missiles and gun. So, the enemy might be fast, but you have to be faster. And if you are, you can definitely counter the BMPT. Now, for the people that aren't as skilled, just use a Leopard 2 ARC. The Leopard 2 ARC has a 140mm cannon, it also has a missile, and a powerful autocannon. That makes the Leopard 2 ARC a very good counter to the BMPT if you don't have enough skill to use the E100. And for the last one, I was debating between the Overlord and the automatic, but I ended up deciding that the automatic isn't as annoying as the Overlord. As you can see, the Overlord has a flak cannon, 2 machine guns, 8 anti-tank missiles, then 36 indirect rockets, and it can go on land and water. It also has APS and smoke. That just makes the Overlord a really annoying hovercraft to deal with. Combine all that weaponry with it being able to go on land and water, that just makes the Overlord really overpowered if you know how to use it. There are 2 ways to counter this though. The main way is just use the Hind. The Hind, like I said, has high DPS, but the Overlord can't one-shot it like the BMPT, so it's still a good counter. If you're fast enough, you could just quickly shred the Overlord and fly away. Hopefully you won't lose too much health. Then the next counter that I have for the Overlord is going to be, again, the Leopard 2 ARC. The reason why I don't have the E100 is because the 2 cannons, once fired, don't completely kill the Overlord, and the machine gun just isn't powerful enough, so just stick with the 2 ARC or the BMPT when dealing with the Overlord. I really hope you found this video useful. If you have anything that you would like to change, or you have anything that you think I got wrong, or maybe there's a better counter, or there's maybe something more annoying, just let me know in the comments. Anyways, that's gonna be it for today's video. Thank you very much for watching. Have a good day, and bye.